Welcome back to the Hear Me Out podcast in association with True Hall of Fame Builds. I'm your host, Michael May, and today we're gonna dive in, y'all. We're gonna dive into this conversation that is going everywhere. This topic is literally going everywhere. Shout out to the gentleman's name. I think his name is Marquise. I gotta jump in and put my 2 cents in, but shout out to everybody that's tuned in. Shout out to those that tune in on the playback. I know a lot of y'all guys cannot tune in around this time, but this is for y'all guys on the playback who be driving the trucks, who work at night. If you're at work, put on your headset. If you're in the gym, pump up the volume, put your earpiece on, and just tune into the show. Cause this show right here is gonna be this one right here is gonna be a big show right here. This is going to be a pretty entertaining live stream, and I just want y'all guys to really understand that this is going to be we're going to ruffle some feathers today, as only I could do. But we're going to dive right in, y'all. We're going to dive right in. So the gentleman named Marquise, I'm going to show y'all him right now real fast. This is a gentleman right here. His name is Marquette. Shout out to Marquette. We're gonna get to that video last, but he said he has a video out right now saying a woman who feels she needs to, be released during, grown folk activity. It is what it is, right? We're gonna dive into that, but I want to do this first. I want both of these videos to collide with each other, because once you hear this first video, the next video is going to automatically make sense, right? Now, I do want to say this. Fellas, if you guys notice, I always tell you guys, never be shamed into dating older women. Because now that a lot of older women are trying to date younger men, they're trying to make it the norm. When we know, and I'm going to do that video probably tomorrow morning for y'all from Coach Greg, but we know the norm has always been a man has always been older than a woman. Wait until we get into that topic. But fellas, listen to me. Stick with me, fellas. You're gonna understand why a lot of men are afraid. Fellas, a lot of you guys are afraid to say what you're gonna hear Marquise say. Y'all afraid to say it, but I know you think it. Fellas, there's people like me, people like Marquise, people like Anton Daniels, that we say the things that you guys are afraid to say because maybe you're not in a position to say it. Maybe you feel like your lady's gonna flip out if you do say it. Well, first of all, you a grown-ass man. If you can't say what you want to say without your lady losing her mind, then you know you're with the wrong lady. Because women always say they want honesty, right, fellas? Remember, I just be honest with me. I want honesty, fellas. That's another lie that you guys fall for. I just want honesty, fellas. Most women don't want honesty. Most women just want the honesty that's not going to hurt them. Because if you're being 100% brutally honest, you won't get nowhere. Or there's some guys like me, Marquise, Anton Daniels. There's certain people out there that Coach Greg Adams that we're going to give it to you straight. But fellas, listen to this funny video. Y'all guys know I always show y'all guys the funniest videos, and I want you guys to understand, I can speak on certain topics because certain topics I can relate to, and I can definitely help you understand how I got out of those situations. But let's dive right into this funny video. So the title of this video is from the whatever podcast. This is A Feminist Gets Humbled on Marriage. Now, fellas, listen to me. Listen to me, fellas. Let me explain. These two women right here, you see my cursor? These two women right here are Christian lesbians. I'm gonna say this again, fellas. These two women right here, fellas, these two women are Christian lesbians. We're gonna leave that right there. Fellas, I want you to understand something. This is another reason why a lot of men have left the church. This is another reason why a lot of men have left the church. Fellas, you want to know why? Because you got nonsense like this. What? Like I said, I'm not. Who am I to judge? But if my memory serves me correctly, I could be wrong. If my memory serves me correctly, then that would be impossible, right? But let's keep rocking and rolling. Let's just listen to what's being said. Let's listen to this.
Let's test this and see if this is correct. You think that women are staying away from men and trying to go towards relationship because men are just big meanie heads?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you said, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to make it sound stupid, go ahead.
Can you explain though why you think that?
If women were happy in their marriages, then giving them the right to participate in society without marriage wouldn't have an impact on marriage. But it does, because they don't like it.
They don't like being married.
Because they're not being treated well in marriage, right?
Oh.
All right, fellas, here we go, fellas. I ain't even get into the show yet. The video just started and I gotta stop him. So this lady said the reason why women are moving away from marriages, I never thought it was women. I thought it was the men. That's the reason why society is complaining about men not wanting to marry anymore. But hey, fellas, let's just go along with the program. Fellas, let's go along with the program. So she said the reason why women are refusing to marry is because the men are not treating them well. Fellas, stick with me.
What about the incentives that they have to get
right
divorced?
Here, she's very happy in her marriage because her husband treats her nicely.
What about the incentives they have to get divorced, though? They have incentives to get divorced.
Yeah, but if you actually like your partner, you're not going to want to get divorced, right? I'm sure
if
Kendall
you have
also
incentives,
has an
you
incentive.
may.
No, Kendall is not going to divorce her husband just for the money. She likes her husband.
Yeah, so what? Kendall's not every woman. When you talk about incentivizations back the other direction, what you're saying is there's no possibility that there could be incentivizations the other direction, which could convince a woman to leave her husband. That's what you're saying.
If she doesn't like him, yeah, there are a lot of incentives. But if he's treating her perfectly well and she is perfectly healthy as an individual as well, then there should be no problem.
Fellas, I hope you heard that. If the man is treating her well, fellas, see, this is where some of y'all go wrong. Fellas, listen to what this young lady just said. If the man is treating the wife well, but we got to add that, and if the woman is healthy herself, fellas, studies show that over 70% of women take some kind of meds for some sort of issue that they have, whether it's mental, emotional, depression, anxiety. So she just eliminated, fellas, she literally just eliminated over 70% of women. Let's keep going though. Let's keep going, fellas.
She would have no reason to leave. Okay.
So hang on.
Why would Kendall leave a perfectly happy
I understand what you're
marriage?
saying. I just want to grant it. I want to make sure I'm not strawmanning you, so I'm going to steel man it back to you. If a woman's happy in her marriage, even if there's incentives, she's going to stay. Or the problem is either that she's actually miserable because of the way he's treating her, or there's something wrong with her.
Correct.
Then the logical extension of this would be then that you actually believe that women are initiating most marriages because there's nothing wrong with them, but because it's men's fault.
No, I think a lot of women get married too soon.
So it's their fault?
Here we go. See, fellas, Fellas, do you see what this young lady's doing? She's moving the goalposts. Fellas, I'm gonna make all of this connect. And for the one woman who's gonna watch this on the playback, stay tuned. I'm gonna hurt some of y'all feelings. First, she said, women leave divorces because men aren't treating them well. Then she turns around and says, excuse me, I'm trying to fix my mic. Then she turns around and she says, if the woman is healthy, now she's turning around and he's breaking it down to her. Fellas, this is the problem with having an honest conversation with women, because they're gonna keep moving the goalposts. But like, keep tuning in. Keep tuning in.
I don't think women get married soon enough.
It's both?
Yeah.
So now she's saying women get married too soon. Fellas, listen. This is what Kevin Samuels, this is what Coach Greg Adams, this is what Donovan Sharp, this is what Abba and Preach, this is what most men unanimously across the board agree with. When a woman says that she's too young to get married, fellas, I need you to run. And fellas, all my fellas on the playback that still super chat to the channel, thank you guys, man. I truly appreciate you guys. But let's keep rocking and rolling. Fellas, keep listening.
Then why, if it's both, then how come men aren't initiating those divorces as much as women?
They do as well.
They don't.
They do sometimes.
Sometimes, but why aren't they as much as men?
Now, fellas, I want y'all to understand. This is called reading the room.
Those divorces as much as women.
They do as well.
They don't.
So she's arguing men file for divorce as much as women do. Now, we know that's a lie. Women are filing for divorce at an 80% clip and above. We got ways to go before we start divorcing women. But let's keep rocking and rolling, fellas. Let's keep rocking and rolling.
They do sometimes.
Sometimes.
But
why aren't they as...
Now look, fellas, y'all gotta learn how to read the room. You see this face right here? This is a face of a woman who's married saying, you know you done fucked up, right? Nobody on this panel believes this woman. But this is the problem, y'all. Feminism has reached the younger women. And this is why I tell you young fellas, be careful. Be careful. This is an emergency man talking the afternoon, cause I didn't have it this morning. Cause I didn't have the time to, but let's keep rocking.
For the record, wait, pause. Okay,
it makes sense for them not to want to.
Wait 1 second. Well, please, wait 1 second.
Because they actually
women really love to romanticize love. On the flip side, men are very logical thinkers and they're okay with going with the problems. When there's a problem after problem, most times women are like, I'm out, I'm done. It's right. Because of this, we want to get married because we...
Now, pay attention, y'all, because if you see all the women, besides these two feminist women, they're not in their heads because they have to agree. They have to agree. Let's keep going.
We want this idea of love instead of actually knowing what love is. Mm-hmm. So I think to go along, someone had said that people are getting married too young. I think someone said that.
Fellas, it's the same thing when women say in a relationship, I just want to be happy. Fellas, marriage and a relationship is not about happiness. Fellas, show me that anywhere where marriage and relationship is about somebody's happiness. Show me where it says marriage is about happiness. And the funny part is this: when most people refer to happiness, they're referring to women's happiness. Happiness doesn't mean a man's happiness. So when women say you're supposed to be happy in a relationship, she's meaning herself. She's not speaking about you. She's speaking solely about herself. But let's keep going. Let's keep going, fellas.
I think you said that, Lindsay.
I did not.
Okay. Oh, you said that. Or getting married too young. I think I have a lot of friends that are married, and in my opinion, I think they are too young. But I think that because I see all these people that get married young and then they get divorced, but it's because they haven't found themselves. So I think if we taught our children to learn how to be themselves and how to actually find who they are inside, we could promote us actually getting married early.
Wow, fellas, this is an actual woman who said this. Fellas, pay attention. And for those tuned in on the playback, leave your comments too. Did you hear what she just said? Fellas, she literally just said, and I think it ain't just only women. I think men too. I think fathers gotta teach their young sons what their value is, and not just put all their value on their dick, or put all their value on their muscles, or they play sports. If fathers took their young men and showed them and walked them through the process, I think that young men would have a much easier time assessing ¿Cómo se dice? What's the word I'm looking for? What's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? The word I'm looking for, assessing. It makes it a little more easier for a father to allow his son to learn how to just to weed out the bad ones. You know what I'm saying? We got to teach our sons what to look for in women. But the reason why this is for a woman, not a man, people, this is a woman right here in this red dress. For this woman to say, we got to raise our children to find themselves early. Why? Because the problem is this. Life starts making decisions for women earlier in life. Whether we want to believe it or not, y'all could be in denial all y'all want. Life starts to make decisions for women earlier, and women don't like that. Now, us as men, life is not as harsh on us if we do all the right things in our earlier years. We're not going to jail. We're not hooked on drugs. We're staying off the street. You know what I'm saying? Listen, fellas, what we say to a lot of you guys is this. Let me give you guys an example of me. Because I'm going to give you an example of me. Because I had a chance to actually speak to my father, my birth father, as I got older. But I got a chance to talk to him, right? And what I thought of him my whole life is not what actually transpired. He was able to show me proof. Like, yo, I was trying to be there. I was trying to give y'all guys child support. I had a place for you guys. I had this. So he was able to provide me proof, and my grandmother turned him down. This is why I tell you guys, sometimes you got to go find your father and talk to that man and let that man give you guys the truth. Now, I'm just grateful that I've been surrounded by masculine men my whole life. Some of you guys never had the opportunity. But for this young lady right here, I applaud her. Whoever she is, hopefully she finds this video, and I applaud her. Because women like her, we got to protect them by all means necessary. Because women like her who come forward and speak up for men, they tend to be like canceled or things of this nature, and that's kind of corny. Cancel culture has always been corny to me. But like she said, if we start raising our children to understand their value from young, they can get married earlier. fellas, if you waited to your 30s to get married, it doesn't hurt you as much as it does a woman. But hold on, let's keep going. Fellas, let's keep going. Listen.
I wonder if that's true, if you can respond to this, if you think it's due to youth. Why is it that, from the Christian frame, if a person, two people, marry as virgins when they're young and they're Christians, their likelihood to divorce drastically decreases?
Yep.
I mean drastically.
Well, in my opinion.
Now, we all know if the man and the woman are both virgins on their marriage day, their connection is significantly going to be crazy. It's going to be insane. Now, if the man is not, but the woman is, that connection is still there, fellas, because we don't have soul ties. We create the soul ties in the women. This is why I keep telling y'all guys, keep y'all shit in y'all pants. Cause some of you guys don't have no dick discipline either. Some of you guys is fucked up too. So yeah, the women still deal with the brunt, but a lot of you niggas ain't shit neither. I didn't mean to say it like that. No, I meant to say it like that. A lot of you niggas ain't, fellas, a lot of this goes to the women, but a lot of you niggas ain't shit neither. A lot of you niggas ain't shit. Cause y'all guys wanna be out here fucking on all these women and y'all have no intentions on being with these chicks. So you ain't shit neither. Let's just be clear. I want you guys to understand where I stand. And it ain't gonna be a popular opinion, but I gotta be clear where I stand with this shit with y'all guys sometimes. Let's keep rocking and rolling though.
I believe it's because of this hookup culture in general. When you are virgins to begin with, you don't know really what you're missing out on, is what I view it as. So once you have had sex before, outside of it, then you're gonna want to continuously have sex.
I want to speak to that.
Now, what she's saying is correct. This is the reason why, fellas, we tell you as men, you should try to deal with women that have the least amount of bodies. Why? Because the more partners a woman has been with, she has built an appetite. She builds an appetite of now what she desires. This is why the title of the video is Women Who Need to, you know what, during sex are considered HOEs. Because, fellas, I'm going to break this down, fellas. This is not going to be a fun video for some of y'all. I'm going to hurt some of y'all feelings. It's okay. It's okay. You can go and cry in the corner later on. It's perfectly fine. But I want you guys to understand something. Everything you're going to hear in today's stream is all connected to each other. But like this lady said, the problem is we live in a time where hookup culture, it's so heavily invested and involved in today's day that most women don't understand that a healthy relationship is boredom. Fellas, what most women want is a toxic relationship. They may not understand it at the moment, but what they desire is a toxic relationship, because a healthy relationship is boring. Y'all both go to work, you come home, you eat, you eat together, boom, boom. Y'all lay down, whether y'all make love that night or not. What can it be? A couple of days go by. See, I think some of y'all guys think marriage is every single night. Y'all smash until 6 in the morning. Girl, you wanna come to my hotel? Maybe I will. Bro, that's not what it's about. It's about responsibility. It's about duty. And this is the problem, that most young women don't understand what a relationship is about. Because I'm sorry, fellas. I know it's like I'm attacking you guys. I'm not attacking you guys. I just got to speak to the few guys that listen on the playback. Cause my views are gonna jump on this stream on the playback. I don't know what it is. Every time after my live stream, numbers go to 1,000 immediately. Fellas, the problem is a lot of you guys, I'm gonna hurt somebody. All right. A lot of you guys are circus monkeys. I'm gonna say this again. A lot of you guys are circus monkeys. a lot of you guys spend most of your time trying to entertain women versus being on your purpose. And that lady's supposed to be along for the ride while you're on your purpose. But y'all guys are like, you want to go to movies? You want to go here? You want to go skydiving? You want to go this and that? You want to go to France? You want to go to... Listen, I'm doing what I got to do so later on I could do whatever I want to do. I'm doing what I got to do now so later on I can have the life I want to have later on. You with me or no? No? Bet. Fellas, and if she ain't with you, when you do turn 35, 36, 37, and now you got the money, the Beamer, Benz, and Bentleys, don't you grab yourself no old hag. Don't you do it. Fellas, don't you do it. Y'all don't see it? Look. Y'all see the subs is going down? Because niggas is emotional. I'm hurting somebody's feelings. Somebody's emotions is getting... I'm touching somebody's feeling. Listen, I'm speaking to some of the men that don't understand. I'm speaking to some of the men who are soy boys. I keep telling y'all, this channel is for the strong. If you ain't got the fortitude, if you ain't got the balls, you shouldn't be here in the first place. Straight up and down. But let's keep rocking and rolling. It is what it is. Bye.
I'm going to speak to this because I was a virgin on my wedding night. I'm going to speak to this. And I got married young.
Ooh.
I don't think me not experiencing other men is the thing. I feel like I was able to connect with my husband on such an intense level because we weren't physical with each other and we got to know each other, you know, emotionally, deeply. Yeah. That's what you two...
Now, fellas, if you don't get that from your woman, fellas, every time I touch my woman, I touch my wife, I can feel like her energy is like don't let me go. Even 5 years later. Because when a woman is not ran through, when a chick didn't have more dicks inside of her than cars in the Highland Tunnel, they have that feeling like, oh my God, my husband, oh my God. But when a chick been ran through, she builds an appetite for herself that she can't fulfill on her own, and you damn sure not gonna fulfill it. But let's keep going. Like she said, she had an attachment to her husband.
We were talking about earlier. But I also think, I wish that people got married younger, not necessarily sooner. Like, you're not dating for 2 weeks and you get engaged, but I wish people would get married younger because you grow together.
Yep.
Whereas opposed to these people that are getting older or getting married older, you have all these separate 30. Finances.
Yeah,
and like,
you're not able to build.
I have friends who the wife pays the husband the mortgage every month. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, look what she just said, y'all. Please hear what she just said. Fellas, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you're supposed to grow with each other. The problem is this, and I'm sorry, some of my young fellas, and not gonna like what I'm gonna say, some of you young niggas is just lazy. Some of you young dudes got one job and y'all be like, damn, man, the government, society, and I need a higher paying job. Y'all niggas want to come out the gate at 18, 19, 25 years old, making $100,000 a year. Y'all better wake the fuck up. You young niggas better go out there and get 2 jobs. Stack your bread and figure out, fellas, unless you got plugged into a job, your daddy owns the company or something of that nature, you're on your own, fellas. You're on your own. But like she said, here's the problem with women. Listen to me. And she said, I have friends that are older, and you know she's talking about her girlfriends. They're giving the mortgage money to their husband or to their partner, right? Why? Because now, what women don't understand is this, fellas. I keep telling you, you 20, you ain't shit. Don't take it personal. You 25, you ain't shit. You 30, you ain't shit. Now you 35 is coming up, 34, 35 is coming up. Okay, now you're starting to become into the man that you're really desiring to be. Because it takes us men a very long time to become the men that we need to be in life. And in case y'all guys don't know, most men don't reach their financial peak until their late 40s, early 50s. And that's why do you think all the guys with the yachts? Ready? Let's go down the list. Idris Elba was successful in his 40s. The Rock came out like a fucking bum. The Rock became The Rock when he was in his 40s. Ready? Harrison Ford. Ready? The fucking Wakanda Forever nigga. You ready? Who's the guy that passed away, the actor with the scar on his face? Brad Pitt. Tom Cruise. When men are older is when they really come into their finances. Samuel L. Jackson already told you guys he ain't start acting until he was like, what was he, 42? I mean, the nigga still look the same, but fellas, it's a process for us. But because women have something called beauty, they excel in life. But the same way they excel, their beauty excels. Some women are still 40 and they still beautiful. I know some chicks who are 40 and still beautiful, but they still 40. So fellas, her 20 is here. My 20's right here. Her 40's right here. My 40's right here. I'll take that deal any day of the week. Give me that deal. Listen, I ain't never been so happy to be a man in my life than in today's day and age, where fellas, everything is at your grasp. Everything. But let's keep rocking and rolling. One more thing. This is why I tell you fellas, if a woman doesn't give you her best years, she does not deserve your best years. If she doesn't give you her best years, but that's why I always tell you guys, I feel if you got a beautiful young woman and she sticks it out with you through her 20s and her 30s, by the time she's 40, motherfucker, if you divorce her or if you leave her, you damn right, you better be taking care of the motherfucking bills. Yes. Some of you niggas don't like what I'm saying. Kiss my ass, Eddie. Fuck you. Yes. Fellas, if she gave you her best years of her life and now she's 40, whatever, and things is going wrong, maybe you don't feel about her the same way, XYZ, I feel like she deserves, because she sacrificed all her best years and she could have found somebody else, but she was dealing with your ass. That's just me. Could be wrong.
And yeah, so what the data shows is that, yes, if you are virgins, and yes, if you get married young and you're Christian, yes, your divorce rate's
But that's because we're
drastically.
Christians.
Yes, it is. But
Well,
I thought that your
that's the reason why
primary
you would
thing
get
that you
married, in my
wanted was to
opinion.
reduce divorce.
I do, but not
Well,
because
if you do-
because they believe that God thinks divorce is bad, but because they're actually happy in their marriages.
They report
Those are not
their
the same
wait, no,
thing.
this contradicts what you just said. You just said that women are leaving their marriages because they're not happy
No, I said women
inside
are
of their
not.
marriage. I literally made sure to steel man it so that you would agree
But
to
you're
it.
saying it wrong. I said women are not getting married because they don't want to be with someone.
No. Here was
You see, she changed it. She's moving the goalposts.
Steel Man. I'll give it back to you. The Steel
Okay, I
Man.
mean, it's-
Here's
but it's
exactly
right.
what happened, and you can replay this if you don't believe
Okay.
me. I said, so you're saying women are initiating these divorces because the men are mistreating them, or in some way
Or there's something wrong with
something wrong with the men, and you said yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so if that's the case, then that would still be the case, even with these Christians. So are these young men just way higher quality
No,
men?
because Christians, especially more devout Christians, don't believe in divorce.
So, but
it's a very controversial
they can
thing,
still get
especially
divorced.
in our own community.
But
if
they
you
can
get
still
divorced, it's
get
sort of-
divorced.
But it's not socially acceptable. Like, you can say that, but it's not.
I don't think it has anything to do with
It
that.
does.
Because my husband and I are
come
not
from a
staying.
very-
My husband and I are
You
not
don't come from a
getting
Christian
divorced.
community. Don't be full of
I
shit.
come from a
I
Jewish
would love to
community.
That's not a Christian
But
community.
it's similar in the sense
It's
that
not similar.
everybody's extremely orthodox.
You see what I'm saying? This lady right here in the pink, you could tell she's been with her husband for years. And I know when a woman is taken care of very well. I know when a woman is taken care of very well. What she got on is Vuitton. That's the proper way to say it. Louis Vuitton. This is Louis. She ain't got on no Jean Star, no Levi. I know this blouse right here. This is the Louis. She got that ooey Louis. She got that ooh. Listen. Pay attention, fellas. Let's keep rocking and rolling.
They get married very early. They stay married for a very long time.
They don't give a shit about divorce. Not a big deal in those communities. It's not a huge deal.
I love how you're talking like you know.
I love how you're talking like you do. I'm telling you, in these Christian communities, which you're speaking on, just so that you understand, they are reporting their happiness levels much higher. They have less antidepressant use. They go to therapy and therapists far less. They have far less of these societal issues that you see. Stop talking. Almost done. Until yes, there are documented.
No, there's less antidepressants prescriptions because there's less therapy because they don't believe in therapy.
Then why is it?
Hang on. My husband and I go to therapy. We are actively in therapy.
Then how come they're unaliving rates?
Yeah, boy. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. I love when married women shut that shit down. Let me tell you something, yo. This chick right here reminds me of my wife, bro. My wife will shut down a bitch in a heartbeat. Like, bitch, close it. You don't know what the fuck you talking about. And I sit there, I'm like this. Continue. Fellas, there's nothing more attractive on planet Earth than a woman that is actually intelligent and she actually understands what she's saying. So now this younger woman is trying to compete with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of an older woman. Fellas, this is the reason why I tell you, fellas, if you're 30, your wife is not 30. Your wife is gonna be 25, 24, 22. Fellas, your wife is always gonna be younger than you. Listen to me. Hear me out. Because I keep telling you guys, your job is to cultivate your women. Get them on the same playing field. And it is a skill. Being a leader is a skill. And if you don't know how to do it, then maybe you shouldn't be dating women. Let's keep going though. But this is the problem. You can't tell women nothing. Fellas, if the men can't teach the women, but then the women can't teach the women, so then who is to teach the women that are coming up? Last time I heard, the Bible says, now I'm gonna use the Bible. The Bible says the older women are supposed to teach the younger women. Women aren't supposed to teach men nothing. Because women get their knowledge and wisdom from their husbands, from their man, from the person above them, which is, and if anything man, it's their father. If anything father, it's their uncles and their brothers. The problem is this, and here's another thing. I always told you guys this. The reason why most women fail in today's society in their relationship is because they don't involve the men in their family, in their affairs. They don't involve the men in their family to come together. Yo, when I met my wife, I met all of the men in her family. All of them are like, yeah, this nigga's an asshole. Hey, we like him though. We like him. Like, yo, this nigga, he don't take no shit from nobody. Yeah, we like this nigga. Because the men feel comfortable knowing we leaving her with a man. Y'all don't hear me though. I know you guys want me to talk like this. Oh, it's okay. Just go out there and just be humble. Be humble. I know. I should soften my voice a little bit for y'all guys, right? I got you.
Hang on, let me finish. Because we believe in marriage, I am not going to divorce my husband because of the fact that because the Bible says don't get divorced. I mean, that's part of it, but I feel like I want to work on my marriage. And so I do go to therapy, and we do work hard on it. And it's not because strictly the Bible tells us not to, but it, like good things take work.
A lot of women, especially if you're in a very religious community where your social points or whatever is dependent on how well you're doing in life, a lot of women don't necessarily want to divorce even if they're in a bad marriage or they're unhappy, because they don't want everybody else to say certain things, or they don't want to take that step with their life. They're very
Would that lead to poorer outcomes?
It would lead to poorer outcomes.
Well, then where can you demonstrate the poorer outcomes? Because all of them are reporting that the outcomes are better. Not only are they getting divorced less, hang on, their kids are far less prone to get into any type of criminal activity at all. Their kids are far more likely to be stable in life. They're far more likely to graduate from high school. They're far more likely to do all of these things. And on top of that, well, you just got done saying it is. You just literally got done saying that's because there's all these incentives who keep them together.
And then you're saying that's all because of religion.
Now, this is what I wanted to get to, y'all. In case some of y'all can't read it, I'll read it right here in the bottom. It says, why is it the man's responsibility to make a woman happy? That's a you issue. Make yourself happy. It says within and then continue the marriage. Enjoy the 10 cats in the boxes of wine. This is why I always tell you fellas, they always tell you guys, invest in pet food and wine, because this is all these women are gonna have at the end of the day. But fellas, let's jump to the next video. So you already seen this young lady sitting here talking about. Now we getting, shout out to Coach Greg. Now we get into the main event. Women who need to release themselves during intercourse are 304s. Listen to the words, y'all, because I don't think you guys understand English sometimes. Fellas, if a woman feels that it's necessary every single time that you guys connect, that she needs to feel some kind of satisfaction, that is a dangerous woman. I ain't saying that you shouldn't. What I always tell you guys is there's a time and there's a place. Y'all ain't never heard no, fellas, Google. Show me one. Fellas, just show me one article on the internet where you ever heard a woman say, ew, Bill Gates didn't fuck me all night long. He didn't put that dick on me all night long. Show me one article. Who's the guy from Tesla? Who's the name from Tesla? What? Something, the mascot. Elon Musk, whatever the fuck his name is. Show me one article where a chick said, yeah, he didn't have that music on. Do you mind if I stroke you out? I don't mind. He didn't have that sex me, baby. He didn't have that music on. He didn't have the Marvin Gaye, baby, I'm hot just like. He didn't have it on, and he didn't do it. There is times and places, but most of the time, well, all of the time, a man's gonna get his. But you have to know when it's your turn. But for a chick to feel it's a necessity that every time she's engaged with a man, she has to release, run. And I'm gonna let this man, listen, fellas, this man is a tough pill to swallow. But some of y'all guys ain't never heard a man's voice in your life. And this is how grown men talk. But let's listen.
I was conversing with while we were both listening to your live last night said, now if you're talking about that live I did exclusive for the members, you's a wild boy, bro, because I was cutting up on that one. That's the kind of live I don't even know if a woman needs to listen to that one. That was a bit much. He writes, he said,
yeah, and he's right. There are some videos on the internet, y'all, that if I'm talking right now And y'all ladies next to y'all niggas is fucking crazy. You niggas is crazy. If you at work and you playing this shit out loud, you better put your earpiece in. I am not responsible for whatever happens in your job. I'm just responsible for making sure this message gets out. But there are some women who just can't take the truth. Fellas, nah, I ain't gonna gross y'all out. I'm not gonna gross y'all out. Not today.
She said, if a man doesn't care about pleasing his partner, that's where she went wrong off rip. What is a partner? I have business partners.
Fellas, yo, Frank is laughing. Fellas, my wife has never, ever called me her partner. My wife has, fellas, listen to me. If a woman ever calls you her partner in front of her family and her friends, listen to me. Send her this video after you done broke up with her ass. Why is it over for? Cause I'm not your partner. Fellas, I'm gonna say this again. Cause some of y'all guys can't say this. Some of y'all guys don't got the balls to stand on the shit the way I stand on it. Hear me out. I am my wife's superior. I am the leader. I want you guys, son, I'll break it in different levels. You ready? Let's do it in different levels. According to the court, I'm above her. So however she feels, I don't give a fuck how she feels. According to the courts that you guys abide by, according to the courts, yeah, she is under my leadership. I'll wait for any one of y'all to contest it. Any one of y'all guys could try if you want. Now, biblically, ready? I don't know where. One of you guys could pull up the verse. Doesn't it say somewhere where your husbands will rule over you? So I'm in the natural and in the spiritual. How do you want to play this game with me? How do you want to play this game with me? Come give me a kiss. Give me a kiss fast. Give me a kiss. I love you. Mama linda. How do you want to play this game? How do you want to play this game with me? Even fellas, even today, my wife is right here in this room, fixing his drawer. I said, honey, I know I've been a little lazy for the past couple of days. I've been really like taking it easy, chilling. We got some dishes in the sink. And you know what she said? That ain't your responsibility. That ain't your responsibility. Fellas, if you don't find women who enjoy being women, why are you dating them? So what you saying is that you like men. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Fellas, if you like men, it's cool. I don't got no problem. I ain't got a problem with y'all. But I like women. And I like women who enjoy being women. So if your woman wants to be a man, that's on you. Frank said, me and my wife had a hard time in the beginning because the guys in here in her life were not men. He goes, I was the first to stand 10 toes down. And it was a culture shock to her. Now, I'm sorry, Frank. I'm sorry that you had to go through that. I hope that your wife, if she's watching, wife, I hope that you could really see the investment that he made in you. Because I always tell women, you should be able to tell what kind of men actually care about you by how they teach you, how they lead you. So if Frank was the first man to come and stay 10 toes down and it was a culture shock, every day should be a thank you moment. Every day should be a thank you moment. Because for a man to want to teach we are called, the Bible tells us, fellas, If you don't want to teach your woman, fellas, hear me out. I keep telling y'all guys this. The woman you want is in your head. The woman God gave you, he designed in your brain for the woman, he's in your head. You're supposed to take the woman that God gave you and turn her into that. Cultivate. Leadership. How often do you guys talk? Some of you guys I don't know how some of you guys don't even like, nigga, I love to sit down and have conversations with my wife. We've already had all the tough discussions. Fellas, hear me out. When I coached women like 2-3 years, I don't coach them anymore because they just fucking headaches. When I coached women, I would always ask them this question. Has a man ever asked you, do you have, he goes, yo, what's good, what's good? He goes, wife said, preach. Ow, hear me out. I would always ask women, has a man ever asked you, do you have any mental health issues? Has a man ever, fellas, you meet a woman, maybe not day one, that's kind of hard for day one. I'm an asshole, so I'm a little different. I ask her on day one. I'm not saying you guys do it, but on day two, day number one should be a light date. Go for a walk, go ride some bike, go have some ice cream, go walk somewhere and just chill. Be playful. Go to the park and play chess with them big chess pieces. Be outside. Go do something. Right now, hear me. But second date, when that guy's sitting down, make sure you ask her this question right before you about to eat that steak, and you cut that steak and you go, so, do you have any mental health issues? Cause now, if she a decent chick, she gonna let you talk. I mean, she don't want to hear you talk while you slap in your mouth. So make sure you eat and let her talk. What do you mean mental health issues? Do you have any mental health issues? And then grab your wine and go, what do you mean? Like I'm insane? Do you take any prescription medicine for anything, depression, anything? That's on date number 2. Date number 2, fellas, you should be asking women the tough questions, fellas. My sister, listen, I will call her right now. She used to be like, this motherfucker's insane. Cause women would be like, yo, this nigga asked me if I got mental health issues. And I'm like, yes. My next question on date number 2, while we sitting there eating, is there anything in your life that I should be concerned about that would ever be embarrassing to you or to me? Make sure, ask the question while you cutting the steak. So when you cut it, is there anything in your life? You make sure you take the fork, you spread it around in the blood that's there. Anything in your life that in your past by any chance that could potentially embarrass you or embarrass me? What do you mean? You see what I'm doing? Fellas, I'm teaching y'all niggas. Make sure you cut in the next piece. I mean, like, anything I should know about, anything, were you ever on crack, any sex tapes, anything that could ever come back to embarrass me. Fellas, I'm putting y'all on the game. What happened, Mabelinas? Yeah, you do. Okay, now Mabelinas, okay? Fellas, he said, very fair question. The problem is this, fellas. The problem is this. You guys are scared. Because the reason why you guys, he goes, facts. He goes, what's good? Hear me out. The problem is this. You guys are scared to lose out on an opportunity for some segs. Y'all afraid that she gonna think that you bugging. When in fact, it's a fair question. What kind of drugs have you ever done? Have y'all guys ever asked a woman that? What kind of drugs have you ever done? Have you ever been white girl wasted? That's just a saying. I didn't call it that. Let's go, fellas. Let's keep it going. Listen.
Those persons that you're in a romantic relationship with are not partners. If you're a woman speaking, you're referring to your man or your fiance or your husband. And if you're a man speaking, you're referring to your lady or your wife or your fiance. When people use this partner term, that's LGBTQ language, and you should correct them politely.
Yep.
Anyways, she stated, quote, if a man doesn't care about pleasing his partner in bed, then he doesn't truly care about her. Your lady is a pervert.
This is a Cottonelle toilet paper service announcement. Your toilet paper leaking feeling you can't shake. You deserve Cottonelle Ultra Clean.
That's all there
is
to that night.
Don't let me lose you. Listen to what he said. He was speaking regarding him and his lady having discussions, and she feels like she should be pleased every time during horizontal limbo. Right? He said, wow, that was straight up to the point. I told y'all this video was going to get hard. This video is going to get tough. I never said this stream was going to be easy. Pay attention. Fellas. I got to play it back.
She stated, quote, if a man doesn't care about pleasing his partner in bed, then he doesn't truly care about her. Your lady is a pervert. That's all there is to that. And I hate to have to say that so plainly, but your lady is a pervert, and I wouldn't want to have her as a main. I wouldn't trust her. She's a pervert, and she will be ruinous to your relationship, and she will make things a burden for you, and I'll tell you precisely why.
Now, fellas, here's the only reason why I have to agree. There's two sides to this coin, and there can't be no middle. If your woman doesn't have that soul tied to you, fellas, there are some women out there who have been done dirty. Frank said it. She will never be pleased. Fellas, listen to me. Now, I don't want to say her name, because y'all that know me, y'all know that this girl is I'm pretty cool with her. I'm not going to mention who she is. A lot of things came out about her last year, and I'm going to leave it at that. But there are some women who get broken down so bad. Like, they get broken down so bad that sometimes loving a truly broken woman can be one of the hardest things ever. But there are some women who are broken so bad, but they'll see, fellas, listen, it's possible. There are some women that would seek out, like, yo, I've did all this has happened to me. She done got raped. She done had trains ran on her. She done been through some of the worst things in the world. Men beating on them and all that. That now she's closed off to the world. Fellas, when these women decide to open back up, for all of you niggas who take advantage of women that been through some real, I ain't saying a chick that she volunteered herself, she done fucked all the football niggas from Florida, all the university, no, fuck her. She can keep that bitch in the street. I'm saying the women that has been done wrong. You You do her dirty after she opens up. God, I hope God creates a special, different kind of hell for you. Cause you ain't shit. But today, let's get back on topic. There are some women, fellas, that they feel that they need to be pleased all the time because they built an appetite of having 7 different dicks, 7 different kind of men, big dicks, little dicks, white dicks, black dicks, fat dicks, skinny long dicks, fucking short fat dicks. Like, she done had it all. So now this woman is comparing you to all the men. Fellas, this is the reason why we tell you, the Coach Gregs, the Kevin Samuels, all the guys that will be on the Ringos, because it's very hard for a woman to be ran through and for her not to compare you to all the different women. Fellas, why do you think I tell you all the time? Have you ever noticed some of the most wealthiest men in the world, their wives are not the most beautifulest? Their girlfriends are. Ready? Y'all were shocked last year when I streamed showing you guys that Bill Gates had it in his contract. Bill Gates had a clause in his marriage clause that he could only deal with his wife and his girlfriend. I bet you didn't know that. Because the wife even knew there are things that my husband is not going to do with me because he holds me to a certain level. Now, I'm not saying doing it at least one time and then getting out the way. Okay, cool. I got a chance to do that one time with my wife. But to consistently fulfill a desire of a man, even she knew, you ain't doing that shit with me. You gonna do that shit with her right over there. And that's the only chick that I'm allowing it to happen with, XYZ. If she found out that he dealt with any other woman, divorce is on the table. The only reason why they filed for divorce, because guess what? He broke the clause in his contract. All she asked for, mandatory, was 80 hours a month. 80 hours uninterrupted, and this motherfucker couldn't even do that. Yo, 80 hours a month. He's a busy man. 80 hours a month, my nigga. Take one. Wait. That's 48. Take 4 days. Be with her and go about your business. He couldn't do that, dogs. Can't get mad when a nigga making that much money. Well, I guess that's what happens. That's what comes along when you're one of the wealthiest men in the world. But let's keep going.
Number one, I've had the good fortune.
He said facts. I heard that on another podcast. I ain't lying. I'm not lying. And I actually read his contract. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Having dealings with a number of women, romantic and otherwise. And I notice consistently that the women who are very focused on them being pleased sexually are inconsiderate, selfish, and perverts. And the ones that are inclined to cheat on you in the sense of physicality are these ones. Yep. And it should be no surprise to any of us. And here's another thing. Intercourse is for the purpose chiefly of procreating, number one. And then number two, if it should pleasure us, that is fine. God has designed it, or biology has ordained that the male will be pleased every time. Yep. Some women will be pleased every time. Few may orgasm every time. You're not designed for that. The woman who is a pervert and is endlessly pursuing orgasm thereby makes the sexual act a burden on the male, meaning it's not enjoyable. And the fact of the matter is the complexity that can be involved in bringing a woman to orgasm is significant. And
now, fellas, for the one woman that's watching my live stream, you can stick around, hear me. Fellas, I already told you guys, And one of the main reasons why a lot of women aren't satisfied, especially in that department, because women don't know, let me just get this man off. Right now, it ain't the time. Right now, maybe it's his lunch break. Maybe I'm just going there to get a quick, to get one off for him real fast. Maybe he in a rush. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you guys got company coming over, and he just. But the problem is the women that feel like they have to be satisfied every time. That's a problem. That's a problem. And then I keep telling you guys, because women, and I don't want to dive too much into it, but I told you guys, a lot of women don't know how to properly have intercourse. There are studies that showed most women don't know. First of all, most women are boring in bed. Fellas, whenever you hear a chick say, yeah, I know how to fuck, fellas, we are the one that's fucking. Most women ain't putting in no work. We got 30 seconds maybe in each position. Other than that, it's a fucking wrap. Y'all niggas is the one that got abs of steel. Y'all niggas tricep games is crazy. But hear me out. I know I'm joking, but hear me out. What I'm trying to say to you guys is this. We are the ones that are doing the work. But when I do the video breakdown showing you guys what I mean by lazy, women have become lazy. But you want to know why I tell you guys not to give a fuck? Because if she ain't complaining to 50, bitch, she should not be complaining to you. If she ain't telling Drake, why you ain't going a third round, a second round, she should not be telling you shit. Because she ain't going to tell this nigga shit. So she better not tell you a motherfucking thing. That's how I dead ass feel about it. He owes facts plus a quickie. He owes hilarious. Yo, you wildin' putting that in there. But like I said, most women don't understand. They're not paying attention to the circumstance. They're not paying attention. But we're going to get into another video, but let's keep going. Keep listening.
That may be an indication that it's not necessary. And you'll notice that in many societies, whether they're Arab societies, African societies, you see what's called female circumcision, which is to rid the female of this thing that causes her to behave like an animal. The perversion of the female is really something we should all find disturbing, in as much as a normal heterosexual male, at worst, he might resort to Pamela Henderson, which is frankly less than ideal. Conversely, a woman will use the hand, she'll talk to hairy palms, but also she'll go as far as to use electronic devices, only revealing the true sickness in her, because they remove all humanity from the physical act. And you can see by the actual anatomy of the human female that she was not designed to achieve orgasm with intercourse for the most part.
I've been saying that for the longest time, fellas. Like I said, I'm going to say it again. If you pay attention to a woman's body, unless a woman is absolutely she's just absolutely sensitive in all the kind of craziest ways, fellas, there has to be a designated time and a designated place to make sure you give that time. Women need much more time than we do, fellas. Women need way more time than we do, but they doing it wrong. That's for another video though.
But the female that is a nagger about intercourse, here's the most important thing to know about her. And if your old lady is watching, lean into the camera, love. You're a slore. You are an actual disgusting pig of a slore, and I'll tell you why. The reason you're a pig slore, a disgusting little rat of a female, is because if you didn't have so much experience, it wouldn't matter to you. It's only you broads that have been thugged out, you've been poked and had your guts punched by many guys that matters to you. And I'm not saying I never please them. It happens on accident quite a bit, but I never try. I never try. And for you rascals who are dealing with these women who are really merely orifices for sausages, they're sausage orifices. If you're dealing with a woman like that, I want you to know this. Here's the tragedy, you see. Me, I'm in great physical, athletic shape. So, you know, if a woman catches me on a stress day, I might really pound her out in a very effective manner. Then she goes and deals with a guy that's average height and average size and average athleticism. He's not going to give her the same level of ground and pound. And that perversion in her mind, and it's in all of their minds, when I activated that, it was hard to turn it off. So she got grounded and pounded by me. I sent her to the curb because she's a scallywag. Then she tries to build a real relationship with Tim from accounting, and Tim from accounting ain't really punching her guts like that. And so what she's going to do is she's going to long for the big homie to thug her out. And what's happening is she's going to creep out on you. Now, here's the thing, young boy. You might be saying to yourself, but Quet, man, I'm really doing my thing out here. You really might be, but here's the sad thing about these slores. You might be doing your thing, and she might enjoy it. But then there's that other guy that did his thing, but he did it in a different way. Like me personally, there's a lot of things I'm not willing to do because I'm a pretty wholesome vanilla guy when it comes.
He ain't saying no lies. Because you may think you putting it down in this way, but then somebody else is putting it down in a different way. And there goes the comparison again. There goes the comparison from the beginning of the conversation again. Fellas, this is why even on the previous video where the young lady was like, I don't think that we should be getting married young, because a lot of women want to go out there, live their life, sleep with all these guys, and then come back to you. Hold on. Let me try to find it. Right now that I'm on live stream. I got to find the most disrespectful video ever made in the history of videos, y'all. This is the most disrespectful shit. This is the most disrespectful shit. Fellas, right here. Fellas, I'm gonna play you guys the most disrespectful 45 seconds you've ever heard in your life. Fellas, look at me. If you're not disrespected by this fucking disgusting woman, fellas, I'm gonna play it first. Then I'm gonna bring it back, because I know you guys are gonna miss it. Listen to the most disrespectful video I have ever heard in my life from any woman.
And here's a secret that many guys don't know, especially in today's day and age, is that women love nice guys. We may not understand how much we love and appreciate them until we're a little older, and we've gotten that sort of asshole phase out of our systems. I'd say by our late 20s, early 30s is the point in our lives when we're just exhausted by the jerks and we have no time in our lives anymore.
I'm already upset.
So we really start looking for men who we know will be great long-term partners, aka nice guys, right? And that's you. And
fellas, did y'all hear that shit? Fellas, and that's you. Fellas, she said it like it's nothing, and that's you. Fellas, now let's break this vocabulary down. Fellas.
And here's a secret that many guys don't know, especially in today's day and age, is that women love nice guys.
This is a secret, y'all. Women love nice guys. Okay, let's keep going.
We may not
that's sarcasm, but let's keep going.
not understand how much we love and appreciate them until we're a little older, and we've gotten that sort of asshole phase out of our systems.
So they may not realize it until they're a little older, after they got that asshole phase out of their system. That means after the asshole phase, the bad boys, the thugs, the Pookies and the Ray Rays, the having more dicks ran through them than the Holland Tunnel got cars. Yes. Hold on. Listen.
I'd say by our late 20s, early 30s.
Late 20s, early 30s. So the best years of their life, they just throw them away. Just throw them shits away. Give it to all the worst niggas in the world. But listen, but wait, there's more. Hold on.
Is the point in our lives when we're just exhausted by the jerks and we have no time in our...
So now, hold up. They're just exhausted. Fellas, are y'all listening to the words that are coming out of her mouth? She said, now they're just exhausted. And they have no time for the jerks.
Lives anymore for them. So
they have no more time for them.
We really start looking for men who we know will be great long-term partners.
So now they start looking for men who are going to be great long-term partners. But guess what?
AKA nice guys.
AKA nice guys.
And that's you. And that's
you. And that's you, fellas. If you're not offended, so Brooke says, so basically, after she's been a nut deposit, a nut deposit drop box, he said, she wants a good guy. Okay, I got it. Take your ass back to the streets. Fellas, this is the reason why I always tell you, fellas, how dare you be 35, 36, 40, and then you single. Now you looking good, you fit, you making that money, you driving Beamer, Benz, and Bentleys, nice crib, and now all of a sudden, a chick, late 20s, early 30s, she comes and goes, hey Brooks, hey Frank, hey, and that's you. That's you, Frank. You're the one I'm looking for. You're the one. Fellas, if y'all not offended by this, fellas, one last time, fellas, listen to this insulting shit. Here's the thing, a lot of women, they bought into this. So they want to spend their younger years just running around, partying, traveling, getting fucked by all these guys, because they expect you niggas. Yeah, you niggas. They expect one of you niggas to save them. Fellas, always ask her, if a chick got pictures in Dubai, fellas, you know how expensive it is to go to Dubai for one day? For one day is like for one day in Dubai like $7,000. So when you got chicks taking pictures in Dubai, you already know she didn't pay for it, or she's an escort, or she a sugar baby. Somebody paying for that, and it's probably an older dude that got the yacht, the white guy that walk around with the fucking speedos and the nut hugging sweatpants with his fucking belly out, with his fucking chest hairs all gray. Huh? I'm coming right now. He goes, don't save him. Fellas, one more time.
And here's a secret that many guys don't know, especially in today's day and age.
You don't know.
Is that women love nice guys. We may not understand how much we
may not understand
and appreciate them until we're a little older. And we've gotten that sort of asshole phase out of our systems.
Bad guys.
I'd say by our late 20s, early 30s,
when they washed,
is the point in our lives when we're just exhausted by the jerks, and we have no time in our lives anymore for them.
No time.
So we really start looking for men.
So they really, that's the key word. So they really start looking for men
who we know will be great long-term partners, aka nice guys, right? And that's you. And that's you.
And that's you. That's you, Frank. Brooks, that's you too. That's you. And that's you. Do y'all not see how disrespectful that was? I'm getting on 2K in a little bit. That's the most disrespectful video I've ever seen in my life. Y'all already know, man. True Hall of Fame, Hear Me Out podcast. Man Talk was a success. He goes, and they start going to church. Hold on. Last thing before I let y'all guys go. I already warned you guys about these church girls, right? Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. So you could see a woman say it better than I can.
No, a hose.
Listen.
If you didn't know, a hoe's final form is a religious woman.
That's not true. Hey, what?
You heard what she said. You heard what she said. A 304 is a final stop. Her final stop is, I'm a church woman now. 'Cause now she expects to be forgiven for all of that. And for you to see past it. And now she's a godly woman. Jesus. I wish she would. I wish. I keep saying it. Until all my homies that got felony records, still after all this time, for all those guys in prison serving all that time for a crime they committed in their teens, and now they men in jail with 50 years old still in jail, until they open up them gates and let all of them out, and they forgiven, 'cause God forgives. Until we forgive all they sins, I ain't never trusted no church girl. I don't give a fuck what she say. Fellas, this is why I tell you, if she ain't in church when she's young, don't let her be in church later on. Let her go to church. Praise the Lord. She found Jesus. Amen. Amen. Yeshua. We know the one and true Savior is. We know who it is. But don't you be silly, boys. Don't you be silly, boys. Like she said, a woman's final pit stop is in church. And I'll leave y'all with that. It is right. He said, look at Brittany Renner. Now she's a Muslim. Fellas, don't play these games. Don't play these games with me. I ain't the one you play these games with. I'll see y'all in the next one. Ya tu sabe. 1.